From the tea rooms of the early 1900s to modern-day cafes, tea has been a powerful connector for women to take time, come together, and exchange ideas. Some historians suggest what transpired in many of the tea rooms of yesteryear laid the groundwork for the suffragette movement, allowing women to gather, exchange ideas, start businesses, and change their place in the world. So what better way to empower women today than by gathering inspiring entrepreneurs and leaders to share their stories over a simple pot of tea? Each week, our amazing women will be on hand to guide you on your journey. So if you're ready to be inspired, come inside and grab a cup. It's time for tea. We've all heard of the sharing economy with companies like Uber and Airbnb. In fact, it is a $26 billion marketplace, and women entrepreneurs are certainly making their mark. Joining me today to discuss the sharing economy is Casey Casterline, CEO and founder of eDivv, a beauty sharing marketplace. Stella Mateo, founder and CEO of SheTaxis-SheRides, a women-for-women ride-sharing service. And Emily Kammeyer, accessories designer and power seller on Poshmark. Thank you all, ladies, for being here today. First of all, Emily, I'll start with you. What is Poshmark?
So Poshmark is an online social marketplace for women to go in, buy and sell women's clothing and accessories. It's very simple. You take a picture of an item of clothing in your closet, you list it on the app, and you sell it.
So this is really sharing economy at its best. Women sharing their closets.
Yeah.
So essentially, I'm at home, I open up my closet, and I find those 5 shirts that still have tags on them. What do I do?
So the great thing about Poshmark is you can sell something with tags on it, you can sell something without tags on it. You go into your closet, take a couple pictures with your cell phone, post them on the app in a listing, and then women can share items from your closet into their feeds and vice versa, which is very much part of the sharing portion of Poshmark. Once something sells on the app, Poshmark emails you a shipping label. You put it right on the box, send it out. Super simple.
And that's similar to eDivv in theory, but we're talking about beauty products, Casey, right?
Right. It's a very similar process. So women who have extra beauty products can go on eDivv and they can either buy, sell, or trade those extra products. And very similar to how Emily described, they could take a picture, fill out the details, and then once they've either sold an item or accepted a trade, they get a shipping label, they put it in their package, and then they send it out.
So if I'm ordering these monthly kits that come with the various beauty items and I'm getting stuff that I don't really like, this is a really great way to get rid of the stuff.
Exactly. So women that do subscription boxes love eDivv because they can still enjoy getting their monthly box, but they can get rid of some of those products that they just weren't going to use.
And so how much can someone make or trade their product?
So our average user uploads 70 products. So that just goes to show you how many extra beauty product inventories out there just from a single user. So they are actively trading, they're actively selling their products, they're really engaged with the platform.
How did you come up with this idea?
So I had this issue. I loved getting my subscription box each month, but I kept finding things in there that I just wasn't going to use, like that green nail polish. And, you know, I went online and there were all these blogs and forums dedicated to women transacting online. So the market already existed. There just wasn't a platform to transact and have that community feel behind it.
And Stella, we all know about Uber and the great things about Uber and some of the issues that Uber has had, and that's where SheRides, SheTaxis really seems to be finding its niche. Tell us a little bit about the company.
Yes, it's an application designed to pair women drivers with women riders.
How did you start this? How did this come about?
It's a long story that I have with my husband. He's been the co-founder and spokesperson for the New York Federation of Taxi Drivers for over 20 years. And being exposed to all the issues with the industry, I was more focused in issues pertaining to women. And being the mother of 2 daughters, with my girls growing up, and working, it was very difficult to have my girls around to different after-school programs and working. And I always thought if I had the option of having a woman driver, that would make it so much easier. So all those issues, brought the idea of saying, why don't we have our own service that would pair women with women?
Where do you find the women? Because I don't find a lot of women drivers out there.
It's not. We launched over a year and a half ago, but we didn't realize that it was going to be so overwhelming, and the response had been great. It's a service that's very much needed for different reasons. Women are not part of the industry. I thought of the movement to empower women financially, personally, and also flexibility of schedule for women. This is a great opportunity for them to make money, and also equal opportunity as men.
And how has it been going so far, business? Because you do have the big competition with Uber and Lyft. How do you get your name out there? We're
working on relaunching now with new advertisement programs and through websites, and we also have an office in Long Island where we welcome women to come. We have a website, and we put them through the process of what they have to do to be part of the application.
And I see a lot of the pink. Is the pink scarf part of?
Yes, it was my idea. Pink, it's girly, it's pretty. Women always like girls like pink, so I thought of a pink pashmina to identify ourselves. And for the first 1,000 drivers, I give them that join the application. I give them a pink pashmina.
So essentially, you go on to the application. Can you just walk me through that?
Yes, it's the same process as any other application that's on the market right now. We're not changing anything. The difference is that it gives you the option to request. When you open it up, it's the application is a square pink, bright pink like the color of the pashmina, with a S in white in the center. And when you download it, it's the same as any other application on the market. It gives you the option. The difference is the option of do you request a woman driver or other? And then if you require other, he just refers you to a man that the men are the ones supporting the project until we have enough women in the market.
And Emily, how did you get into Poshmark? How did you find it?
So in 2013, a good friend of mine was selling some items on the app. I work in fashion. I've worked in fashion for my whole career, and my closet was full of things I didn't need. So I listed a couple of items and was very pleasantly surprised with how quickly they sold. The other great surprise was that there was this social network on there. All of a sudden, I had way more followers than I was gaining on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter. So I took a look at it and realized that this was a great brand building platform for me. I have an accessories line in New York, and today I have over 250,000 followers on the app. So as the brand accessories gal, and with my blog and with my line, it was a great place to build for me. I even went to their conference last year in San Francisco, and I spoke, and I showed up, and women just came up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, you're accessories gal." And never in a million years did I expect something like that. So it's really this amazing marketplace that's also a social network and a support system for women.
We're going to take a quick break, but when we come back, more on the sharing economy and why it's a great fit for women. So we are talking about a $26 billion marketplace, the sharing economy. Emily, why do you think it has grown? Why has it exploded?
I think one of the big reasons that the sharing economy has grown is because it gives women the opportunity to join a market and a marketplace that wasn't available to them before. Women are starting businesses that wouldn't have been able to start a business before. They are, on Poshmark, for example, they're opening closets, and they start selling the things out of their closet they don't need anymore. They then transition into buying wholesale items and selling an entire, what is an online shop on Poshmark, and they're making six figures doing it.
So you really don't have to have that brick and mortar store.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing with the beauty products. that's something that you could do for a couple of hours a day. It's something that a woman could do part-time if she wanted to.
Yeah, I think people are just getting smarter with the things that they have and kind of realizing if they don't have a need for it, they could get something else in return. They could sell it on our platform. They could also trade it. They're essentially shopping without spending any money. So it really excites them to get rid of some of that excess inventory.
It's sharing economy, especially in the industry of the taxi industry. It's one that the women were not part of. As I mentioned earlier, 97% of men or less are the drivers when we are 60% of the ridership. And it's flexibility of schedule. I think it's a big option that we want in our daily lives, especially when we become mothers and wives, because we want to be able to be housewives, be mothers, and also work and make money, equal pay, equal opportunity as men. And this gives us that great opportunity to do that.
Specifically in your business, I know there have been concerns about safety, and that I think helps you in many ways.
Safety is the big issue. When we did a poll and we asked women how would they feel about the service, and that was the number one answer was safety.
And so if you're out at 2 o'clock in the morning and you want to make sure that a female driver is going to come get you, you can, I mean, how long does it take to get a driver to come?
It's the same service as any other app in the market, that when you download it, automatically you get a response. As of now, you get a response, but the likelihood of getting a woman it's not there, because we don't have enough women in the movement, and we're working on that, and eventually, very shortly, we will have, at least hopefully, 25% of the market is what we're looking to take, so that we can provide that great service to women that want women drivers for women riders.
When we're talking about eDivv and the beauty industry, what have you found with the sharing of the items? Because you can't use like a half a bottle of cream and then send it out, right?
Right. We have all our users list condition. Most of the products are new, coming either from the gifts with purchase, you buy a set and you might only use 1 or 2 of the items, or subscription boxes. It's one of the top 10 gifts women receive. So there's always been a need for this. On eBay alone, it's a $2.6 billion vertical, and what that's really lacked is the community aspect. Women really want to connect with people who share a similar passion.
What have you found to be difficult about starting the business and scaling the business?
Yeah, I mean, definitely scaling, getting your name out there. Advertising and marketing with a limited budget has been challenging, but it's just really finding your niche in the community and what users really relate to your platform and have a direct need for it today.
And specifically, you worked through an accelerator program, and so you went to Tennessee. You were, why don't you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes.
How did that happen?
So I had launched eDivv, and I was still working full-time, and it was becoming overwhelming. So I applied to accelerator programs all over the country, and I actually found StartCo, which focuses on women founders. That really drew me to that program. And I had a wonderful experience there, really helped launch the business, helped me get that initial funding, and I have a lot of great mentors and advisors and connections from it.
That's great to know. So StartCo, it's all women.
Yep, they have one section that focuses on women founders.
So where do you hope to grow the business?
Really we just hope to grow and have it be the #1 outlet for the secondary market in the beauty space.
And Emily, tell me where you're at with your company, with the accessories, and how that works on Poshmark.
Yeah. So I started my line E.Kammeyer Accessories about 5.5 years ago. And when I met the founders of Poshmark for the first time and started talking with them, they said, "Why aren't you listing your line on Poshmark?" And I said, "Well, I'm just taking things out of my closet that I don't need anymore." And they said, "Well, this is your platform. Show these women what you're doing." And so I started listing my jewelry and all of that fun stuff on there, and realized that the same women that were buying, my Louboutins that I didn't need anymore also wanted to buy jewelry. It really gave me and women in my same situation that have small businesses a a brand and a platform and a place to speak to other women.
How is a Poshmark different than, say, like an Etsy or
Or an eBay.
or an
say.
eBay? Yeah.
So it's really the social aspect and the simplicity. So with Poshmark, they make it seamless for someone. It's a mobile app. You take a picture with your phone, you upload it, someone purchases it, they email you the shipping label. It's very easy. Someone sends you a question, you get a notification on your mobile phone. It's, it's very seamless. On top of it, with women, fashion is very emotional. It's an identity. They tie it in with their everyday lives. So when they're just women on a platform talking about what they're passionate about the new bag they just bought, they're asking a woman, I love your moto jacket, but what would I wear this with? I would have no idea. And the seller can say, I love this. I would wear it with jeans and a cute tee and like a nude pump. And they can help them figure out how to wear it and how to integrate that item into their closet.
Time now for a quick break. When we come back, more on the sharing economy and how you can make it work for you. Casey, I want to touch on something you spoke about before, working 2 jobs and trying to figure out when it was time for you to officially take this as your full-time job. How did you decide that?
Well, first, I think it's never the right time. It's always a risk to, start a business and kind of take that next step, and it's always scary. So for me, it was just that extra opportunity, that little extra bit of funding, and that extra support that I was obtaining that gave me the security at the time to leave my job. So I was working in operations in finance, something totally different, but I had been involved with another startup. So I kind of knew the long haul and what it looked like to kind of take a business from nothing and, start to see it growing little by little. And then once we got into the accelerator, it was that opportunity and that support network.
And the accelerator, what was the funding on that?
So this accelerator was minimum funding. It was $15,000, and they take a small percentage of your business. But really, it was the goal to get the funding after the accelerator. It was the opportunity and the investors that you would be put in front of to kind of get to the next step.
So what is that like? You've raised quite a bit of money at this point. What is that like going up in front of those investors? Let's hear your pitch.
Oh gosh, well, it's never easy pitching a women's business to men. That's the first and most hardest thing about this. You really have to figure out, what they're interested in, whether it be the market size or the numbers or the retention rates on your business. So beauty is very emotional for women. It's very similar to fashion. So when I'm pitching my business to women, it's an emotional attachment, whereas men, it's very numbers driven. So I think it's just kind of realizing what sticks.
So was it a matter of saving up some of that money that you were making in finance and then ending up getting into the accelerator and saying, okay, it's time?
Yeah, absolutely. We had raised a family and friends round, which helped, and then put our own money to kind of start the business, and then from there it really was kind of understand what goals you need to hit to get to the next round and to impress investors at the next step.
Well, for me, it's about time management. And it's great because I've been able to integrate both my own business with my accessories line and having a blog and having Poshmark, and they all kind of work together seamlessly. For me, Poshmark, not only I'm selling on it for women's high-end luxury goods, my own accessories line, things out of my closet I no longer want, but they all work together every day for me.
And Stella, what about funding for SheRides, SheTaxis?
Funding, well, it's a kind of, once you have the application, you have, as long as you have a car, like services that are on the market, as long as you have your car, your own vehicle, and you have the same process with the Taxi and Limousine Commission to have their license to be part of it, you can download the app and be part of it at any time that you make your own schedule. So as far as income, they generate income as soon as they download it and be part of it. So and you make as much money as much time as you invest in it.
And so someone on the high end who's doing very well, what can they make?
Right now, they estimate people make up to $10,000 a month, even more. And the beauty of this application is that it doesn't discriminate. Unfortunately, in the work market, a lot of times, not most of the time, I shouldn't say a lot of times, they discriminate against race, size, age. If you retire, a lot of the women, when they retire after 65, what do? They don't want to be home. They're still strong. They're still young. This is the kind of work that they can do and doesn't discriminate against age or size.
And when we're getting into the nitty-gritty of the money, how much can someone make on eDivv or Poshmark for that matter?
Yeah, so it really just, it depends on what type of products are uploaded. Limited edition Mac items go for very high amount from what even the retail value is. But a lot of our platform is still trading, so people are getting that value without spending necessarily the dollar amount behind it. They're getting products and saving a lot of money instead.
And if you sell high-end cream, are you going to get half price for it for the most part? Or?
Yeah, we suggest about 30% off retail, but it just really depends on, how wanted that product is.
And same with Poshmark?
So the percent off really ranges in a similar way to how wanted the item is. So I've sold, Chanel handbags on there. I've sold Lululemon, Louboutins. Sometimes it's 50% off. Sometimes it's only 30% off because it's a really in-demand item. But in terms of having a business and making money there, like I said before, there are women making really decent six figures on there. There are women that it's a little side project and they're making tens of thousands of dollars a year. It's in a similar way to a lot of other social networks, it's how much time and effort you put into it. It's how many items you post a month on it, how many times you share on there, and how active you are on the network.
So your advice to women out there who may want to get involved in the sharing economy?
Do it, make a new friend, engage with it. Really, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to take what you already have and create something more with it.
Stella?
Become part of SheTaxis-SheRides, equal pay, equal opportunity, flexibility of schedule.
And Emily?
Having your own business is something really special, especially as a woman. And if you have the opportunity and you're excited about it, you can do just about anything. So go for it.
Well, I'm so thrilled that you all came here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I just had a ball speaking with you all, and I wish you all tremendous success.
Thank you too.
Thank you. That wraps up this week's edition of the Working Woman Report. Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook, and of course our website, workingwomanreport.com.